of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers, and you can transform your life. Right now on WHFS in Tampa and WWNN in South Florida, Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2 hours, listen and call in toll-free, 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and share love and light.
In me and you. Oh, yes, indeed. There's a light right here on WHFS 1010 AM 92.1 and 103.1. We are answering your questions all across the nation at 888-565-1470. You're also listening to us right here on WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 and 96.9 FM. We are connecting to all of you. And tonight we're going to talk about enough. I hear that song in my head. Enough is enough, I can't go on. But I don't mean that song. We're talking about, are you enough? Are you good enough? Are you worthy enough? Do you deserve to have it all? And what is enough? You know, sometimes we feel like we never have enough. Sometimes we get a little carried away. We want more. We want a higher position. We want more space in our house. So we upgrade our house. We want a new kitchen. We want new cabinets. We want new clothes. We want it all. And of course, we can have it all. But what is the external components that are influencing your life? And what is the external experience telling you? Are you kind of distracting yourself from who you really are inside and putting on a happy face? You know, what's that song, Gray Skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face, right? So we're thinking of how we can project to the world, even some of the cosmetic things that we can do. It's amazing what they can do. But what is that? It is the external projection. But what's going on inside? How are you feeling? Are we covering up? You know, sometimes if we have a blemish on our face, we're really grateful, especially females. We're really glad we've got our makeup, right? We put a little dab and kind of blend it in and nobody knows. But what it troubles does nobody know about within you? Where are you at odds? What is the tape that's playing in your mind that makes you feel like you're not good enough, not worthy? What is enough? And have you forgotten that the imperfections, perhaps according to your story, are the perfect story for you because you're taking yourself to some new opportunity and you've just got to go through the impossible parts that seem impossible, but in the end, all things are possible. Think about the time where you didn't feel like you measured up. Maybe you were interviewing for jobs and you kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection. I have a dear client. She's in California. She's been on a lot of interviews, highly qualified. But for whatever reason, something isn't clicking. We know the job market is highly competitive, especially depending on the area of expertise. But we also know that there's a lot that is open. There are so many opportunities. So then we ask ourselves, what is not working inside of us? What are we not projecting to others? How are we not expressing our confidence? Maybe it's in our body language. Maybe it's in our tone. Maybe we are attracted to opportunities that really aren't a good fit because in the end, they're going to lead us back to more of what we've experienced. Have you ever experienced a toxic work environment? I guess everybody might be able to say that, right? We have that difficult moment in our workplace. But then you leave there thinking, okay, so glad I'm leaving those people. And then as we leave them, we step into what looks like the most magnificent place to work. And then, enter stage left. That higher director that you didn't meet yet, or you didn't have the time to spend time with. And now they're right there in the thick of things. And you realize that some of the same dynamics that you fled from at the other location, your other opportunity, what did they follow you here? What does it have? I like drama on my back? No, it's people being people. It is people expressing their own low self-esteem and their own wounds, and you taking it personally and thinking that it's directed to you, but it's really their expression of dissatisfaction, their own critical self. But we've got to dial back. Turn back the hands of time. when did you ever feel you weren't good enough growing up? This is not a conversation to bash our parents. They learned from their parents, who learned from their parents, who learned from their parents, and of course, this generational way of handling things. And sometimes looking back, we can laugh at their ways of handling things. But did they really build you to believe you could do anything? Did you get encouraged for your talents? Or were you pushed down a path that you felt you had to do to please a parent or earn recognition in the family or be the good person? You have to go to medical school or be a lawyer or perhaps be something in a different field that is recognized in the world, because then you'll be somebody. And then all the while inside, perhaps you're noticing you're being compared to a family member, a sibling. What happens then? What do those moments of not being enough start to do to you? What about the angry moments between your parents? How did you interpret them? Did you somehow feel like you were led to believe that you were to blame? Did you understand that they were just expressing their frustrations in life, and it really was no bearing on whether you were loved or not? It was their story. Did anybody take the time to explain that? Well, most likely not, because many of us grew up in an environment that children are seen, not heard. So how can we step into a world feeling confident when maybe our well-meaning parents, trying to keep us in the safe lane, kind of distracted us from our own creative air, our own unique gifts, our own self-expression? And so we push it down, push it down, push it down until we can't push it down anymore. And at this point, we are an adult. And we step out into the world and invest maybe in college or opportunities. And then we realize that that's not what we want to do. Or we realize we are discontent with the surroundings in life, that we've made choices based on pleasing others because we didn't want to lose their love or their attention. We wanted to be included in their story. And then we start to scratch our heads and think about how unhappy we are. And then we compare ourselves with others. And we look at other people and we notice that they dress differently or present themselves differently. Perhaps you applied for a job, a position in your organization, and someone in your department passes you by. But you have more experience. You've been there longer. Why did they get it? Is it because they won the popularity contest? Is it the behind-the-scenes conversations? Or is it that you're just not good enough? And then when you sit and you speak with your direct supervisor, maybe they'll talk about leadership skills and tell you to work on your leadership skills. Maybe they'll give you some constructive pointers. But all the while inside, the conversation you have with yourself is, I guess I just wasn't good enough. And what about that love, that quest for love? That's really going to mess up our minds, especially when we don't feel like we're worthy or good enough. We'll think that we have to overcompensate to keep someone because we don't even feel we're worthy of them, so we jump through hoops to show how magnificent we are. Or we pursue someone in the hopes of having a connection, and then when they decide to pick someone else, we can't help but think we could have done something better and that we weren't good enough. And the process of recognizing that everyone has their preference, and it's not a matter of being good enough, it's about connection and people feeling connected. And not everybody's going to feel the connection for the same reasons. Do you know that sometimes the people you feel most connected to are not even for the truest of reasons? That sometimes the connection with someone is based in an old wound, a need to win the approval or love of someone. And so you're drawn to them. And you can't help but get them out of your mind. And you feel like they're the one. But all the while, there is a part of you, that part that doesn't feel good enough, worthy, that needs to prove that they could have the love of this person. Because the energy of this person, the story behind their soul, the expression, some of the characteristics they portray, these very same energies are reminiscent of something in the childhood. Could even be of a teacher that didn't grade you appropriately and embarrassed you in front of the whole class and made you feel as if you weren't smart enough. And you took that with you. And then there you are, seeing someone you admire and really saying to yourself, I hope they love me. I can't tell you how many people sit in front of me and they talk about loving someone, and it's most certainly an unrequited love. The person does not return the love. And what an individual will go through inside themselves, maybe you know what I'm talking about. That feeling of sorrow and loss and mourning, that if only they could see this quality in me, if only we could have spent more time together, if only. And then why not me? Why couldn't it be me? Well, life is filled with people's opinions and their ability to choose. And in today's world, so much of life has been based on our ability to have variety. So some people are always in this state of, there might be something better, so I'm going to move on. And then there are those that just want to feel that safety, that security, and know that somebody really cares. And so they're not on the same page. And often those who seek that relationship will attract someone who is really non-committal, not there to be in a relationship. They have no intention of following the romantic path of moving in together and buying a house and building a family or sharing the latter years in life. And so you build this vision in your head, only to not be able to realize it because the other person has their choice. So why do we choose people who aren't going to participate with us? Why do we choose jobs that are going to take us down a path of not feeling paid enough or rewarded or recognized? Why do we choose positions in this world based on what other people think we should do? Who is it that we're really trying to please? Because I can promise you that when you cross up to the great central sun and you're in the energy of the divine, those people's opinions aren't going to matter. And when you sit with the Creator and the Creator says, well, we had all these opportunities for you, but you kept going down the path that left you feeling empty. And there was all this splendor all around you. You'll know that you didn't feel good enough. And then the Creator will say to you, but did you not remember that you were created in my image, in my divinity, and that the aspect of perfection is within you, regardless of your choices, regardless of what other people have led you to believe about yourself? And that within you is this magnificent ability to do anything? Even if your upbringing and your education does not lead you to believe that you could be somebody in a particular role, that you have the power to change that at any moment once you're able to claim your independence? and that you can really dedicate your self-love to reprogramming and redesigning your thought process and surrendering the rest to the heavens and really showing up and stepping into the power of I am worthy and I am good enough and I do deserve to have it all. And there's a power inside of me that has the power to create. And every time my mind goes into the dark place of the corner that says, why are you trying? Why bother? That's not your luck. That's not your life. Maybe for someone else, but not for you. That's not for you. That you have a strength within inside of you that you could stand up to that inner bully, that inner critical voice, and you can tell it, no, that's a story you want me to believe, but that's not the story that is programmed inside of me. That's not the destiny that is for me. So many times in life, we will be compared. And these comparisons are part of a process, unfortunately. As I yield from a background of show business and competitions for performing, singing, and many other types of competitions, well, they have to pick one person. So does that mean everyone else isn't good enough? Most times it means that it wasn't the selection of the people because they had a preconceived notion of the version that they wanted to represent that particular winner. Let's look at some of the great competitions that are on TV now. You can look at The Voice or American Idol, and maybe you see the top 10. And sometimes the person that really, in most people's mind, has the best voice or the best talent or the best stage presence, they don't even make the top 5. Because it's a matter of people's perspective, their opinion, their preference. And why should their preference determine your value? Perhaps we can learn from that. We can market ourselves. We can take some better classes and learn more and even take the criticism that might have come with it and work at what comes next and then show back up, as many of them do. I remember the first pageant that I ever competed in. I had this vision to be Miss America. Most little girls have that. But I had an opportunity to participate. And in that very first competition, I won the talent award. I won the swimsuit award. And now they're calling the finalists. And the third runner-up is called, and the second runner-up. And then my name was called for the first runner-up. And then someone else won. And when I went in the back and I sat with the judges, because in that organization, they want to mentor you to be the best person that they can help you become. It's part of the program. They sat there and they said, okay, all these boxes were checked, but we really were looking for more in the interview. I know those of you listening to me who know me, like, what? You were lacking in interview skills? I was a little too reserved for them. I didn't have the sparkle that they wanted. And I went, okay, I think I can do that. So the very next year, I came back. I didn't take their words as I wasn't good enough. There were some negative people in the background in my circle. One person even said, oh, I knew you weren't going to win. I was like, well, now I'm going to show you. But those words could hurt. But I didn't take those words and hang them around my neck and, just lose myself in not being good enough. Easy to do, crossed my mind. Very upset with the person who had said that to me. But I said, okay, I'm going to take these individuals' advice. I'm going to learn about myself, and I'm going to present it. And so the next year when I went back, first of all, the day of the pageant had to be the worst, crazy day of all things that could go wrong leading up to the day of the pageant. Crazy things were going on. But I didn't let it distract me. When I got there, it was time for the interview. They do that stuff first. I walked to the door, and before I even sat down, they complimented what I was wearing. And in my head, I heard like a voice. Little did I know that voice was Spirit talking. I was like, here you go. Now's your time to shine. And I stood there in the doorway. And I said, thank you so much. It's my favorite color. And we started to talk for a moment, and I was enthusiastic. They wanted enthusiasm. They picked a topic I liked. Clothes, colors, fashion. I'm showing up. And so I stood in the doorway. They invited me in. And instead of, at the end of the pageant, getting the same story, which I got nervous at the end of the pageant. Oh, you win the swimsuit, you win the talent. I wasn't the first runner-up. I'm like, okay, I think I did it. And then I won. And then again, because it's an organization that builds talent in people, I went back to the room with the judges. They congratulated me. And instead of being portrayed as this reserved wallflower, they said, oh my goodness, we so loved your interview. We found you so engaging, so fun, and knowledgeable and well-spoken. We were really hoping you could sing. I was like, isn't that the opposite of what I got the first time? It was just their opinions. And that began a many-year run of competitions and pageants. And I cannot thank the Miss America pageant enough for their teachings and their encouragement. Because all people need sometimes is a little direction. All we all need is someone to believe in us. Someone to show us where we can make adjustments and not criticize us in a way that we are wounded. We want people to recognize the beauty, the divinity, the perfection that resides within you. So remember you're perfect and that you are worthy and you are good enough. And tonight we're going to talk about you, your questions, your crossroads, because many of you are at a crossroad because you're making choices based on settling and lack and not feeling that you deserve a better partner, a better job, a better opportunity. So you're just surviving. And well, we've been just surviving for so long. Isn't it time you lived? We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. And then for this next time, between now and 8, and for my friends on WHFS, we'll be with you till 7. We'll be answering your questions at 888-565-1470. Friends on Facebook and YouTube, post your questions in the feed right under the Sarah Spiritual page. Interact with us on the show. Stay with us, everyone. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS and on WWNN. We'll be right back.
Have you heard me? Have you seen me?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470. Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
We've got a feeling you'll want to listen to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. for insightful, intuitive messages on WHFS. Sarah Spiritual is a spiritual advisor and transformational coach who will assist you. Join Sarah Spiritual for a powerful hour of life's questions and Spirit's answers. I've got a feeling you'll love Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, 6 to 7 p.m. Wednesday. Got the feeling? Just call 888-565-1470.
You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Have we met before? I've been standing in.
Do you know me? I've been standing in the room. You just didn't see me. I am Sarah Spiritual, and you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS and on WWNN. We are hanging in Florida, and we hope wherever you are, you can find a little warmth, because I heard it's a little chilly up there. The Facebook feed, well, they're talking about it. So many people are talking about changes that are making them doubt their self-worth. Someone's talking about how their job let them go, and now they're questioning themselves. Someone else shared in their comments that, wow, they were in a relationship and really was kind of abusive and negative. And now, 4 years later, look at that. They've got diplomas and they've moved on. They've got their own business, and they ran into the person and they're like, wow, I'm so glad I'm not doing that anymore. So you see, sometimes we just got to step out of our comfort zone. We're going to go to the phone lines, and then we're going to pop in and have some official questions from our Facebook and our YouTube people. So be sure to keep posting them in the feed. Share the page if you'd be so kind. Share the Facebook page to your friends, to your groups. Let them know that we're having this conversation, because we all need to believe in ourselves, and we all need to know that we are worthy and we are enough. It's 2022. It's a new year. Time to just take off, everyone. And we're going to go to the phone lines, and I've got to go to Maria. Maria is in Wellington. Maria, how are you?
Hi.
Good to connect with you. Maria, were you on Facebook, and did you say, oh my goodness, I need to talk to you? Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, you're like, I could just feel it from the message. You're like, oh, and I'm just in a mess, and I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, then call 888-565-1470. And so here we are, Maria from Wellington, Florida. What is your question for us? How can we best assist you and navigate what's going on?
Well, I did a drastic job change, and I've been doubting my decision in different ways than, just like, did I do the right thing? It's just, I've been doubting myself, my ability. I don't know why.
Well, they're stretching you. Yes, you're doing a few tasks that are a little bit out of the core competencies. Yes, it's a different way of doing things, correct? And so growing pains are always uncomfortable, and many of us feel nervous doing something for the first time. It's just a feeling that we have. And then there's different personalities, and you're not sure who's really who they say they are, and you're trying to kind of feel out the energy. And that was familiar to you, the old job. You were there for a bit of time, yes?
Yeah, and I could even go back if I really wanted to.
Oh.
But I think really I think that would just be going back to a bad relationship.
Exactly. Settling.
I don't know. I think that's what.
Yes. So earlier I used the word settling, right? We don't want to settle. And so when I look at that, it was a nice opportunity, good while it lasted. But now it's time for change. And in alignment with your soul, this is the perfect time for you to network, to build. And let's kind of skip out and tell the story a little further down. What if you're there for a while longer and you prove to yourself you can do it, but you say, you know what, now that I did that, I can do more. And I like these people, but I'm not loving it. That's okay to change your mind. You know, we've been taught that it's not good to change your mind. I like when people change their mind. That tells me they're trying to figure out what they really want and really love. And it's a journey. We're led to believe that we have to stick with our decision, like sit in the bed you made, little girl.
We're this age, and it's got to be, you got to, your mom, your wife, you're this, it's got to be, and that's the hard part is like,
you can't stay the same. I want you to compare yourself to everything around you in the world. Nothing stays the same. So why is it that we are expected to stay the same? Now, there was a time in our parents' and our grandparents' world where, yes, they would be married for 50 years. They would work in a company, corporation for 25 plus years just to get a watch, by the way. And they would be there and they would get their pension, and this is how they lived. But many of us, and I say this to everyone, so have no embarrassment in changing, be it change relationships, be it change roles in a company or even professions and go back to school. All of our souls have chosen to be reincarnated because we have many experiences that we're meant to have in this lifetime and connections with different people. And if we stayed with the same person for the same 25 years and stayed with the same job, what would we get? We wouldn't have the fullness of the expression. So, Maria, I do feel that you're more than capable for this job, and I feel that this job is a good stretch for you. And I do view this particular job as a stepping stone. There may be, as I look into the organization, there may actually be room to grow within, and that will build your resume and help you move forward. Now, again, never too late to change, but you have quite a few years in your working life ahead of you. And so you're in a good time that this is the time to pivot and make a change so that in the years, let's say 10 years prior to retirement, you could land in a place that is stimulating and abundant and enjoyable and still has some room to grow without making you feel like you're racing against a clock to accomplish something. So enjoy this opportunity. You are enough. Don't question. The universe opened it up for you, and it's an opportunity to grow outside your comfort zone. All right, my dear?
All right.
All right, Maria. Thank you so much for calling.
Much.
Yes, my pleasure
be
talking to you.
Be blessed and be safe. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you for following us on Facebook. Bye.
Yes. Bye.
888-565-1470. Yes, indeed. We want to have those Facebook conversations with you. We want to hang with you on Facebook and YouTube, so visit Sarah Spiritual. We're going to go to Connecticut. I think it's a little chilly. I've got Paul on the line. Paul, how are you tonight?
Yes, hi.
Hey, Paul, how can I assist you tonight?
Well, you know, I just been kind of having, it's been kind of a rough late 2021 situations that happened, and then going into 2022 not starting off good with, you know, deaths in the family on both sides of the family, and also like on my significant other side as well.
Yes.
I was just wondering, you know, like, what does it look like as like relationship wise going down further down the road this year?
Well, when I look at the dynamic for you right now is kind of a time to change the way you do things. Look at life differently. You kind of became a little complacent and sedentary, set in your ways, they tell me. And you're kind of expecting the other shoe to drop all the time, Paul. I feel like work was a difficult run for you, right? You had difficulty with the people at work, and you had to kind of earn your respect there. And then life sent a curveball. We had challenges in your own personal health. So you yourself have gone through a lot individually. And then significant other, well, that has been a roller coaster for quite a while. And then we look at the loss. Loss causes us all to take a look in self and miss aspects of other people and then question other relationships and forces us to retreat, to go within. And around you, there's been great loss in your immediate family. Is that true? Yes?
Yes.
Immediate as in like father, male figure, individual? Yes, please, Paul?
Yes, an uncle.
An uncle. Okay. So is this your father's brother, this uncle?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So that energy, everything's hitting really close to home, and you're feeling very unsettled. But in your significant other is looking to have new opportunities, to change, to grow, to express new things. And you're kind of stuck in a bit of a rut. And the question I want you to ask yourself is, Paul, what is making me feel like I can't break this routine I'm in, that I'm not good enough and worthy, and I can't really put myself in the place that I want to be with my partner, with my child, with my family? What's preventing me from making changes? Because there's a hesitation within you to make changes. Your partner has asked you to make some changes, yes?
Yeah.
And you've also been seeking attention so that people would feed you, make you feel important, but inside you're not feeling enough. So there's a little bit of drama thrown into all of this. So, Paul, the relationship is at a transitional crossroad. Spirit says it's time to go forward and give it your all and make the adjustments, both of you. It's never just one person, or the relationship will begin to be severed because you're not ready for more and your partner wants more. And you can't hold each other down. You've got to encourage each other to grow, and you've got to give each other space to find out who you are. Now, the uncle who passed, this was a significant person to you in your life. Yes, they were very influential, yes?
Yeah.
And there was this connection, almost like they really touched your heart and made you believe in things that maybe you didn't get from the primary family, the mother, the father, yes?
Yeah.
They're a little different in their personality and their approach with you. So be open to talk to someone. Be open to therapy. Be open to talk with your partner and make those adjustments. 2022 is the perfect year for you to work on building relationships with other people, relationship in your partnership. It's all about relations, connections. It's going to be just for you, this magnificent place for you to build connections and build your confidence and even step out and maybe do your own type of business. So you don't have to answer to the people who are making you feel like you're not good enough, you're not measuring up, you're not one of the guys. So it's time to embrace that. Relationship is unsteady. You'll know more by June if this is going to move forward, but at this moment, the relationship has been toxic and it hasn't grown for quite a while. But it's still something that the both of you can choose to work on. I hope I've been of service to you, Paul, and we know it's been a rough 2021, and we do send you positive energy for your 2022. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
All right. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.
888-565-1470. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WHFS and on WWNN. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every song.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, Participate in one of my spiritual development classes and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
And we are back here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're also on WHFS at 1010 AM, 92.1 and 103.1. We sure hope that you are joining this conversation. And for those of you on WHFS, when we wave off at the 7 o'clock hour, pop on to WWNN, follow us on Facebook, follow us, Sarah Spiritual, on our YouTube page, continue the conversation. Listen to the broadcast on iHeartRadio. Just put in WWNN, and we'll be live from 7 to 8 for the rest of the show. We are live from 6 to 8 p.m. every Wednesday night at WWNN, and our WHFS friends, we're hanging with you from 6 to 7. We're going to go back to the phone lines before lickety-split they pop us off the air. I've got to go to Briar. Briar is in West Palm Beach. Briar, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you. We have just a few minutes as we're getting ready to wave off our first hour. We're talking about feeling good enough. What's your question for us tonight?
Well, so basically, I guess I've been feeling kind of stagnant, and it is like feeling not good enough with my career. So it's kind of topical, I guess, for the topic. And I was just kind of wondering your guidance on moving ahead with it in the right direction, or where it's headed, or any kind of messages you hear about that, because it's just getting kind of in my field about certain things. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So it is the perfect time to lay some powerful groundwork, particularly from your birthday on, for your career. So what do we need to do to spice up our resume? What else do we need to bring us a little bit more clout in the industry? What else can we do to make us feel like we're knowledgeable? One of the things about you is that you're really grounded and you want to feel good enough. But one of the parts that is at war within self is you're often within your own head, kind of questioning yourself. And this is a time for you to stand grounded, knowing that you are in the right industry. There's just a new opportunity that's to come for you. And we have to look for a better position, a higher position. And this may include learning a bit more in a different arena that's connected to your job. Is there a thought of going back to school?
I kind of peripherally, I feel like there are things I could do to get not necessarily a different degree, but more knowledge, I guess. But
yes.
Yeah.
And building momentum, building a new opportunity. I feel like you're going to lay a lot of strong groundwork in 2022 for your career. It's a pivotal time. Look for an area of growth to come forward in the month of May. This seems to be an opportunity to make a transition, be it within a particular organization or looking outward, because we want to feel like we can expand and grow. And for you, tangible tactical success is very important, and it makes you feel secure and safe. So we want to make sure the needs of feeling safe and having enough in the physical world is in place so that you, my dear, can feel good enough within. Now, Briar, we are getting ready to wave off on our first hour, but we do hope, since you're in West Palm Beach, that you visit me at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. We're off of Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza. You can learn more about me at sarahspiritual.com. Pop on in. We've got all sorts of tools to help you kind of step into your zone. And perhaps if you want to do a personal session, I'd love the opportunity to sit with you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. God bless you. Bye for now.
You too. Bye.
Well, we're going to take a moment to take a break and get ready for our second hour. Those of you who are joining us on WWNN, don't go anywhere. My friends at WHFS, visit sarahspiritual.com. And if you're local to West Palm Beach, pop into the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We have so many things coming up online. We've got our classes. We've got a magnificent class that is going to give you your vision for 2022. Want to know how to create the best 2022? Go to sarahspiritual.com and learn more about the class for Vision Quest and understand how we can create the perfect dynamic. We're going to give you all the tricks and the tools to make this 2022 the year you want. The class, well, that's only $12. So visit us at sarahspiritual.com and then look for our mailings and other postings for our energetic clearing class and our full moon healing ceremony that we've got coming up mid-February. We've got quite a lot of how-tos, and I want to be right there with you as we all grow. Well, for now, we're going to tell everyone, hang on, we're going to take a break, and then when we come back, WWNN, we're back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. Everyone on Facebook and YouTube, keep the questions coming. Thank you for listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. That's me, Sarah Spiritual. We'll be right back.
That shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light. There's a light, there's a light that opens doors for everyone.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-888-565-1470. That's 1-888-565-1470.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly
the world differently now. I can find the love in everything now. If I can walk in someone else's the stillness in my mind, I will see the world differently, the world differently. Everyone is here for a reason. Everyone is here to shine their love. If I could see the world differently now, I'd be seeing me as one with you. If I can see the love within me now, I will see the love in you. We all come to shine our light now. We all come to be all we can be, just you and me. If I could see love in everything now, I would see the world differently now. So I will take my vision in my mind now, and I'll see love, and I'll see love, and I'll see
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions and to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in. 888-565-1470. 888-565-1470. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube. And you can share the love and light.
There's a light that shines down upon me, and there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light.
Yes, indeed, there's a light right here on WWNN that's leading the way. And you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and we are answering questions at 888-565-1470. If this is your very first time hearing us, we're live every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. We've been on national radio for over 12 years. This year will be our 13th year. I think we're on show 621 or 20, 620 live shows. So we have been hanging out with all of you. We're all growing. Tonight we're talking about, are you enough? You know, sometimes we're led to feel like we need more, right? So we want more. And is it ever enough? But inside, maybe we don't feel like we're worthy or we're good enough. We have self-doubts. We feel uncomfortable in our own skin. And a lot of times we put on a happy face to try to make everyone think that we're okay. But inside, you're not. Because you're just trying to push through life. And if any past few years have made us feel like we're just trying to push through life, that would be 2020, 2021, and coming into 2022. So we need to make that change. We need to claim our destiny. We need to feel as if we're worthy and that we are enough. We're going to go back to the phone lines at 888-565-1470. I've got Freddie in Doral. Freddie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you. This is such an important year for you to step into your personal soul power and really believe in yourself. You know, I know, Freddie, because you've listened to the show for years, and I thank you for following the show all this time and calling in. But, you know, Freddie, when I look at the energy around you for 2022, what I see is, you know, if anybody should know what it's like to not feel good enough or passed by or gone through trials and tribulations and maybe question who you are and measuring up and trying to have the life you want. You've been through so much in the times that we've known you, and yet you've always persevered. And this is the time for you to step truly in your soul's step of where you are meant to be. And so I think you're feeling that push, trying to make those changes so that you can have better employment, can have a better quality of life. Is that true?
It is. The last 2 to 3 months have been very challenging, and I've just been trying to figure out what's happening. You know, I'm always asking you about work and love. That's always my thing.
Well,
and now,
No, go ahead.
No, and now it's kind of like I'm in the same place, but it's like a year ago today to a year ago now, so many things have occurred, and I'm just like, I don't even know.
Well, everything's always evolving. Some of the challenge here is that you're feeling limited in your ability to act on what you desire. And Freddie, we don't have the best connection here, so if that happens again, we're going to have to disconnect. But I just want to say this to you, that the step in the direction of what you want, and it is time to make a change. It is time to leave the workplace. It is time to shift. And even though there have been some curveballs that have happened in the past few months, and even though love has kind of tried to entice you and then disappoint you, and you're going, well, when is it ever going to be my turn? These things are in the making. But the most important aspect that you must connect to this year is what gives you meaning, what gives you purpose, and what do you feel like you're being called to do from within? Not what the circumstances show you is possible, not from the history from whence you come. We want you to kind of visualize this new paradigm for yourself, this new vision, and step into the energy that you are worthy of all the things you desire, but you do need to make a change. And sometimes we have to make a radical change to bring about the desired outcome. And so you're in a position where your soul's going to prompt you. And even though you might feel fearful to make a change, you're going to have to make some changes. And they may seem overwhelming, but you're going to make those changes. Because the connection's a little spotty on your end, Freddie, I hope that I've given you enough guidance for this moment and that we can connect at another time. All right?
All right.
Thank you. Bye for now. Sometimes cell phones don't cooperate. And, everybody, did you know? Put out the alarm bells. It's Mercury retrograde. So watch those technical things. So now, speaking of Mercury retrograde and things getting connected and messed up and switching around, do you have everything in a plan for yourself? Is your communication right? Are you making sure that you know what you're doing and that you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's? Those of you who have legal papers or important conversations to have, it doesn't mean we can't have them, because sometimes we must. But I do suggest that you cross your T's, dot your I's, and make sure before you speak that you know exactly that you're going to convey what you feel and what is most important. We're going to take our next caller, and we're going to go back to Connecticut. I understand it's a little chilly there. And we're going to talk to a caller who we haven't talked to in a little while, and there's a little backstory to that. Danette, how are you?
I'm not doing so well. Last year been heck for me.
Yes.
I just lost my other sister. I found her, and it's hard.
I know. I'm aware of that. Our condolences for that. Yes.
Thank you. I wanted to know what 2022 will bring for me.
Well, this is an interesting time for you because part of last year, the challenging times, were kind of clearing the way for this year. And I can't promise that the beginning of the year is going to be smooth sailing, because I feel like there's a lot of cleanup that still has to happen. There's a lot of things that need to be settled and understood and communicated amongst family. And there are some challenges around you and your own personal experiences and your own health. So we've got to get things a little bit better centered. And you're going to spend the first 5 months of 2022. Lucky for us, we're midway through the first month, so you're getting there.
I can't believe it.
And you're going to step into the energy of your personal desires and things that you want to create, partnership, relationships, opportunities for finances. These are things that you're looking to create. But every time Danette starts to move in the direction of what she wants, it's like somebody else's problem caves in on you. So I'm going to need you to build yourself in a little bunker, and I want you to do your inner work. And then I want you to step out, and if anything tries to deter you from moving forward for yourself, I want you to just step in and push through that. Danette, sometimes we have some health issues that make it difficult for us to feel happy and enthusiastic, and we feel tired all the time, yes?
Yeah, I've been tired. Well, I just got the my booster shot today.
Okay. So that'll make you a little tired. But so there's so much going on around you, and, you know, truly the loss in the family was just unspeakable, and we weren't expecting that. It came from left field.
No, it wasn't.
And, you know, but there's a time.
Her.
And I from what I understand, you found, but somebody else had to let you in, right? Because you couldn't get into her place, right? So I know there's a whole story.
I had the key, and my nephew's cousin and I found my sister on her recliner. I've been having nightmares about it.
Yes.
I've been trying not to have nightmares, but it's hard.
It's hard.
Trying.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. And, you know, sometimes it's someone's time, but nobody's there to know that. And I know that took you by great...
Oh, shock.
Yeah, great shock and great sorrow.
CPR on her, and she wouldn't. It didn't help.
Right. She had been gone for a little while at that point. So, And so my guides tell me that, you know, she is in the energy of transition. So I do know that we'll make contact with her in the months to come, Danette. But for now, it's to rebuild your life and focus on what you can create at this moment, because we can't change the past. We can only create our future here in this moment. So it's going to be a slow start to the year, and then things are going to pick up some momentum. I feel like finances will find a way to increase. I know that sometimes is challenging for you. And I'm also seeing this energy of some type of relationship partnership. So it's going to be a good transition for the latter half of the year. We just need to get ourselves there, and we have to hold good vibes and positive thoughts. All right?
I've been trying my best. I thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thank you for calling.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Thank you. Bye.
888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got Anita on the line, and Anita's in Jacksonville, Florida. Anita, how are you?
Hi, Sarah. I'm good. How are you?
Good to connect with you. I'm doing well, thank you. We are laying some important building blocks in your work environment right now at this time. Is that your intention?
Yes.
Yes. Up you go, my dear. It is time to lay the foundation for your advancement, your promotion, your increase. You know, they're showing me money, so it makes me feel like there'll be significant increase that can come to you. We're looking for a promotion in our organization at this time?
Well, I just switched jobs, so I'll be starting a new job. I did get a promotion.
You got a promotion, increase. This is the time to do it. There'll be more before the end of the year. So I want you to just kind of hold on to your hat, because this is the perfect time for you to lay that groundwork. And I also feel like, Anita, you're opening up to your own self-healing and your self-worth. Is that true? We're doing a lot of healing.
Yes.
And we're raising our vibration, and we're learning to be more spiritual and spiritually connected as well, yes?
Yes.
Okay. What is your question for us?
Well, I have a lot of changes coming up in the next month, and it's a little scary, so I just wanted some advice from Spirit.
And what is the other movement? Are we planning to make a move as well, please?
Yes.
Okay, we see a move.
Month.
Yeah, I see that move. And so we changed jobs, and now we're moving. That is a lot. But we have a new beginning, a fresh start here for ourselves. And there's a component with relationship and love that you have a question for me as well?
Yes,
okay.
I guess.
What is that question, please? Because it seems to all be tied in together. So, you know,
yes,
no pussyfooting around here, honey. We got to get right to the cut to the chase. So what is the question about the relationship?
I guess like what, how this upcoming year will be regarding it and everything.
Mm-hmm. It's been through a lot of changes and some challenges as well. Is that true, Anita?
Yes.
And what is their birthday?
6/5, 78.
So here we have someone who's ready to go through some major expansion and changes within themselves, and really kind of do some self-examination. And I feel like the two of you are working on the communication within the relationship. Is that also true?
Yes.
So through the communication, the relationship will continue to grow. This relationship has a move that is also towards something being a little bit more, I don't know, I want to call it official. Is there another step we want to take in this relationship, please, Anita?
Yes.
Okay. So that's talk, right? We're talking about the next step in the relationship, yes?
Yes.
All right. Work towards that. We've got a little work to do. We've got to put a little more intention in this, but just let it flow and don't have expectations as to when. Just let it organically fall into place. He's really making some strong changes within himself, and he's also someone who can be his own worst enemy at times, and sometimes his bark is a little worse than his bite, but he means well. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Give it a little time, my darling. A lot of changes, but they're all positive changes, and the work changes are going to fuel quite a bit of greatness for you in the 2022. I hope I've been of service to you tonight, Anita.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling. Bye for now.
All right, bye.
We're going to pull some questions from our friends on Facebook and our YouTube, and we're welcoming your calls right here at 888-565-1470. We're talking about life and what 2022 has in store. And we're seeing, are we really enough? Do we believe in ourselves? What's really going on? And we're going to go to Cherry M. And Cherry says, my new job role has been enlightening and all. Do you get I will be going permanent? Cherry, you are ready to go permanent. It's just a matter of time. This is an opportunity that is good for you. And I do feel that when I look at the storyline for you, it's a positive time to lay some strong roots in a company that is going to give you some stability, which you so definitely need. So thank you, Cherry, for your Facebook or your YouTube question. And now we're going to go to Facebook and YouTube and pull another question. And we got Stephanie Pappas. Stephanie Pappas says, hey, I'm curious to know what Spirit says is in store for me for 2022. Well, Stephanie, it's a clear opportunity that's before you. You know, the winds of change are upon you, and only you can make the necessary changes for what you want and how you need to get there. Change is an inside job. You work within. And as you work within, it's a year of personal power, honoring yourself, loving yourself more, learning to put yourself first. And girl, you got to learn to say no. If it's not good for you, you don't want to do it, then it's time to just ease on down the road and say, not today, not for me. This is my turn. And put yourself first in these connections with people. And I also feel like it's a strong, strong love year. So let's be sure that we put our love in just the right bucket, a bucket that will also turn around and fill your bucket. We don't want to just be putting all into someone else's bucket, and one day we look and see our bucket is empty. I think you've been there before, Stephanie, haven't you? So be open to the possibility. Step into your personal power. Trust that all will align, and you, my dear, are worthy, and you are enough. Bye for now. Thank you for your Facebook question. We're going to take another one from Facebook and YouTube before we go back to our phone lines at 888-565-1470. We've got Dina Kwan. I don't even know if I said that right. Green. Hi, Sarah. Can you tell me what Spirit has to say regarding my finances this year? Well, lucky for you. This is a great year for finances. It's also a great year for advancement, promotion, increase, moving yourself up, actually creating a new opportunity that's going to bring you some change that is going to open up to a new possibility for work, something that's going to give you a better flow of income, something that's actually more like your baby, your position, your opportunity. So, my dear, this is a time for change. Increase will come. I feel like when I spin out the clock of time, I move you into the month of April, and that's when things start moving up, up, and away. And by the time your birthday comes, I feel like you're feeling a little more secure and that you're in tune with yourself and you're really honoring who you are and financially feeling a bit more secure. Thanks so much for your Facebook question. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we've got calls from all across the nation. We've got Chicago, we've got Orlando, we've got Virginia. Yes, indeed, we're answering your questions at 888-565-1470. Stay with us, everyone. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and I'm Sarah Spiritual, and we will be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions all across the nation. I've got to go to Orlando. I've got Rachel on the line. Rachel, how are you tonight?
Good. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to connect with you, Rachel. What is your question for us tonight?
So I want to change jobs, and I've been applying. So do you see anything with that?
I see it is a great time for change. I kind of feel like things have run their course. You're kind of stuck. You're stagnant. You're feeling bored. And it's time for change. You need increase. Yes, this is one of the reasons why we're making the change, correct?
Yeah.
And I also feel that this is something that will come. I feel like it's a little, a little spotty in the selection process right now. I don't really feel like there's a lot popping for you. I don't know if you're really applying and not getting much back yet, but I do feel that March, April time, that's when things start to move in the direction of significant interviews that lead to a hiring. So just trust that the universe is going to support you in this journey. And this is also a year for you to expand and try new things, expand some of the connections with people, and really learn who you are and express that to people and find people who are a right vibrational match for you. And in this time, when you look at the 2022 year, be careful that you open up your eyes when you're sharing, because sometimes I think you find that you've shared things and then everyone seems to not be in your favor. Like even this job change, perhaps we want to tell less people or not talk at all and just make the job change and tell people later, because I feel like sometimes people try to sway you or influence you, and you're really very set in what you want right now. And we need to stay focused. Singleness of purpose and focus is very important as we move you in this direction.
Okay.
So I do feel like it'll be a good year, good opportunity for finances, and you really feel like you're in a strong foundation in 2023. So this is the year to make these changes and get yourself ready for a new beginning. All right? Thank you so much. You're welcome. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. And from Orlando, where I know it's a little cool, but not too cold, I got to go to Chicago. I got Yvonne. Yvonne, what's going on?
Hi, Sarah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to connect with you. And my goodness, you got a lot of twos going on around you in a year of a 2022. So you might be vibing in the twos this year. For
Thank
sure.
you. Okay.
It is a time for you to take a look at life as balanced as possible. How can I live this balanced expression and surrender and let all that doesn't serve me go to the heavens and kind of ground myself in what I want? Yvonne, how's the weather in Chicago?
We're cold. We are cold today. We
I
are
am
really
so
cold.
sorry. But hopefully that'll be a short-lived cold this year, and maybe your winter will be a little short. We're going to hope that the groundhogs, I don't know, sees its shadow or doesn't see its shadow so we can have spring, whatever groundhogs do. Yvonne, what's your question for me tonight?
Okay, I've got two, but my first question, I wrote in last week. My great-nephew, my niece's son, was murdered on January 10th. He was the second homicide in St. Paul. I know he's trying to say something. His birthday was April 3rd, 1986, Sarah. And I feel him. We're going to bury him on this Saturday. The family is all crazy because we don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened. And he was murdered, was it outside a location, please?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
It was outside.
Yeah, I see something outside a location. This is what they're showing me. There's
God.
two people there at the time. And it seems to be some kind of vendetta or something. I don't even see it as random. I see it as some kind of bad blood between people. So it's not even random. There's something connected to other people in the circle, and there's some kind of vendetta.
Oh, my gosh.
Does this make any sense to you, Yvonne?
I think it does. I was talking to his sister. I've been talking all day, but I think it does.
Okay.
I think it does, yeah.
All right. I will tell you this, as I get from my guides, he didn't suffer. It was something that he lost consciousness, and everything after that he wasn't a part of. So he left his body in a very quick manner. So the way we view suffering, he did not suffer. Totally unexpected. They make me aware, does he have... is there a child connected to him or a younger brother? What is that, please?
He's got he's got two sons.
Okay.
Older son, I think he's like 10 or 11, but the baby
that's who they're showing me, the baby. Yes. This is really difficult transition for the whole entire family, and just know that if he could have ever done anything to not leave that baby, he would have. But unfortunately,
he loved him.
Yes. I see the closeness because they're making me aware of a son. I am sure the older one, it means a great deal to him. But that younger baby, it was like a mirror image of him is how they present it to me, Yvonne. Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense. He loved him.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he took him up when the mother did not.
Yes.
So he loved him. Does he know who killed him? Did he know?
Now that's a interesting story there.
Okay.
A little. Are you familiar with his friend circle and stuff? Do we know?
I am not. He was in St. Paul. His sisters are there. They grew up here with us in Chicago, and then they moved to St. Paul. But it's in the circle, isn't it?
It is in the circle, and they're giving me the letter R. So I feel like it's either this person's connected, they were there, or they know the story. The letter R. And makes me feel like it's a Robbie. That's kind of the vibe of the name feeling to me. But clearly he writes in the energy a letter R here. So I don't know that's the person who did it, but that's definitely connected to the story because he's really still in this energy of transition. So it's difficult. It's like getting a connection on cable channel that the cable isn't quite coming in, or even on a radio station where we hear the static, right? So that's the transition. And for many of them, it is that way for a while because we are in transition. But his was abrupt and sudden, and so it's a little shaky in the connection at this moment. He has come to you. He has been near you. You are feeling him.
I am.
And then, what is that? Did somebody take the chain off of his neck, please? What is?
Shut up! Oh my God!
Because he's talking to me about his chain, yes?
Oh, my God, Sarah. They said that someone had called his older brother who was in Texas, and his older brother heard the conversation. That's why they thought it was a setup. And his older brother heard them say, "Get the change."
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And that is the story. Yeah. And so that's another one of your clues, okay, that he's giving me.
Does he have a message for his sisters? They are just torn up. They don't know what to do. They are torn up. They looked up to him.
I can tell you that he is at peace, but the chain is a part of the story, and maybe when he settles in more, you and I can do a session, or maybe I can have a session with them. However we can best come to a better understanding. But we're going to let the police do their job. It is it is unfortunate. And everyone needs to remain calm, because the sense I get in the vendetta, you use the word setup, whatever the story is behind it, we don't want to ruffle too many feathers in case people feel threatened and then they try to do something else in the storyline, right? So
I will let them know.
Yeah, so they need to remain calm and yes, so whatever the brother in Texas, so kind of interesting that he even knew that. So that's the confirmation that the chain is significant in the story in the event of the murder.
Wow. Okay. And I'm going to get on your calendar because I'm still looking for a job, but this has happened and it has thrown all of us off, Sarah.
I understand.
And I know I'm going to find a job, and I feel my energy, but I feel Otis with me. Yes. I knew he wasn't at his destination yet because it happened like it did.
Yes.
And they said they shot him in the back. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And
but the doctors told...
Yeah, he didn't suffer. He did not suffer.
Right. The doctors told his mom that he didn't suffer, but there was nothing they could do. They didn't want to do surgery because it wouldn't have helped. But he went at peace.
Yeah. He didn't suffer, and the minute the impact came, his spirit left the body, so he wasn't feeling the pain like we would have thought. And it is unfortunate, and from the statistics you gave me, it sounds like that isn't something that happens there. So it's kind of a bizarre turn of events. But know that the hand of God is on everything, even that which we perceive as evil and unjust. And we trust that God will make this story right, and that everyone's hearts will heal in the journey. And give my condolences to the family.
I will. Thank you so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
And I will definitely get on your calendar for my personal stuff. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to the show, and our condolences, Yvonne. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Bye. 888-565-1470. You know, that's a very serious story, and I'm always grateful when Spirit gives us clues. Remember that there's a story beneath the story that many of us don't know, and that's the story of God. That's woven in everyone's soul, and each one of us has an exit story that most people aren't privy to. And sometimes people have a sense. You'll hear them say things like, I don't know if I'm going to be on this earth for a long time, or, I feel like I'm meant to have a short life. And people go, oh, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And then it turns out that they don't live to be 80. They pass at an age of 30 or 25. We are faced with challenges in life, and life presents us with opportunities to grow. And when we've completed whatever those stories are within our soul, then we have an exit, and our soul will rejoin in eternity to be at peace, and then have an opportunity to learn more lessons on the higher realms. And then even if those of us believe that we can come and have yet another, for there are many lives to be had, we will do that as well. On this note of talking to Yvonne from Chicago, before we go to Virginia, I'm going to take a moment to take a break, regroup, and we are going to get back to the phone line. So join the conversation, 888-565-1470. You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah right here on WWNN every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. Just never know where the conversations are going to go. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 888-565-1470. That's toll free. 888-565-1470.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit sarahspiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 888-565-1470. Toll free, 888-565-1470. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Here live on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM, and 96.9. And we're answering your questions. You know, one of the important questions people ask me is, well, when can I talk to my loved one and how can I make that connection? And I have to say that it's very rare that we get a connection from someone in the very first few days or first few weeks, and sometimes even in the first few months. Sometimes they're in the ethers and they're easy to grab a hold of, but many times in their transition, that is exactly what they're in, a transition. And it would be like trying to interview people on a train that's moving, and I'm trying to run to catch up and grab bits of information from the people on the train. And really, there's a whole group of people, of soul family people, who are all there. But they, in their crossing, have to leave the physical embodiment, shed the energies, the feelings, the emotions, the things that weighed them down, and surrender all of that and step into the energy of love and light and be greeted by the most amazing versions of all their family members. And sometimes people say to me, well, they didn't like each other. Well, they will like each other when they're there because they're in the energy of love. So it's a transition. And depending on what someone goes through, it's difficult. So why is it that we were able to connect with this young man, which was Spotty, who was unfortunately, his life was taken in a murder? Well, because that energy's there, and it's like important that his family gets the story of what happened. So he's kind of trying to send through his energy the story so they find comfort and they get the answers that they need. For he's already making peace with it in his transition. So no two stories are the same. Some people take a few months. Some people have taken a year. Sometimes people come through for quite a long time and then they're not there anymore. Why? It's not that they don't want to talk to you. It's just they're going to a higher level of a higher realm of the hierarchy of the heavens. And some of them have already reincarnated. So it's quite a complicated story that goes on behind the scenes, and we do our best to make the connections. So we're going to go back to the phone lines. I've got to go to, we went from Chicago to Virginia. Let's hope the weather's a little warmer in Virginia. I've got Lisa on the line. Lisa, how are you tonight?
I am doing well, Sarah. How are you?
I'm great. Good to make this connection. Is this your first time calling?
Yes, this is my very first time.
Well, we welcome you to the show. It's a great opportunity to connect. And I know that you're working on feeling like you're enough. Yes, we are doing some work within ourselves. Is this true?
Correct.
And we are also, I feel like 2021 was a little rocky for you. You were going through some changes the end of 2020 into 2021, and you're trying to get your balance back. Yes, it was a time of shifts and changes for you, 2021?
Yes, it was.
Yes. Roller coaster, hoo-hoo, right? Yeah. So it's been a little bit much. And so this has you questioning yourself, questioning your abilities, really digging down deep in your feelings. And you're a person of feelings. You feel everything very viscerally. And sometimes people don't understand that. Maybe they even think you're a little sensitive, but it's just because you're fully present in your emotions. And you also, have this gift to see beyond the BS of it all, right? You kind of can see what people are really up to. So you're like, well, I'm not being in my feelings because I know what I feel because you're sending off some shady stuff. So you know what you know. And in this journey, you are stepping into this new life that you're meant to create for yourself. The slate is being wiped clean. I feel a transition, possibly even a move in this 2022 time. Is there a thought and idea that we might want to make a move?
Yes, but I'm not so sure what kind of a move because I'm really hoping to buy a home. Mm-hmm. I just met somebody that I truly love and appreciate.
Yes.
And there's just been one more change in my career. As of yesterday, I was given the pink slip. And it's a job that I dedicated my time and effort.
Yes.
But then it's just one of those things. And I found myself not really mad or worried because I truly believe it's going to lead me to something even better.
Yes.
But now I'm more, I would love to know what the spirit guides have for me.
Well,
and when do you think I'll find another opportunity?
Well, that's a great question. And, God laughs at he who makes plans. So here you are thinking, okay, I'm getting ready to buy a house. I've got this job. I've been dedicated. I've put my time in. I kind of have this safety valve around me. And then it's like, oh, I see pink. Okay, change of plans. Okay. And so life throws us the curveball because sometimes we're too comfortable. And it's time for us to make changes. And I do see work coming to you. And I actually feel like February will be a little slow and dull for you. But then when I step you into March, I really feel like action is taken for a new opportunity. And I feel as if, even though you were good at what you did, you didn't even tap into all of your abilities and all of the resources that are within you. So finding a new way of working would be ideal for you, looking over the resume and finding out what else we can do at this next juncture of our life, because we want to find a place that leaves us feeling content and joyful and harmonious. And as we step into 2022, I feel like this year can actually earn you more than you were making before, give you more growth, more challenges, and also help you manage things better on your end for making the changes that you desire. So yes, new work will come. March opens the door for that. So you've got about 6 weeks to kind of do other things that you need to get done. Get yourself in a good place within self. Reorganize things that make life easier for you. Spend some time creating visions of what you want your 2022 time to be. This is going to clean the slate so that we have fulfillment of life, fulfillment of love, fulfillment of career, financial wellness. And this is also the time where we reposition ourselves to find a sanctuary, someplace that is our safe haven, our home. So this is what is all building for you. And the move you make may not come right away in the beginning of this year, depending on where we end up and what agreements we make with ourselves and primary partner, then we can see where we may go. You had a question on love. Was there a comment about love here earlier in your conversation?
Yes. So I met this amazing man, and I'm just everything is going on very well, and I'm wondering what's in store for us.
What is his birthday?
His birthday is June 7th, 1972.
Okay.
But he was born at midnight. So.
No, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I got his number. Well, he too has been through his share of changes as well.
Correct.
And 2020 and 2021, they had their shifts and changes. And I feel like he kind of cleared himself out of something that was almost obligatory. I don't know what that represents, but my guides show me like he was in something that he had to fulfill something and complete it. He closed that chapter. He's open for a new chapter. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
A very great communicator, someone who is funny, intelligent, many different topics. Sometimes he can be a little hard or harsh. You might not have seen all that yet because you're still in the honeymoon phase. Yeah. But, a good-hearted person. He's open for the exploration, not quite ready for anything settled or permanent yet. Even if he gives off that vibe, he still is trying to get himself settled. So I want both of you to focus on being your own foundations and let the relationship unfold. And we will know more as to whether it's a full-fledged, this is a real good connection or just a passing connection. You'll know more in June. But yes, great vibes, great connection. You both think well together. And I feel a soul connection between the two of you. And you're a little more in tune to recognize that than he is. Mm-hmm. But that's all good because you know what you know, right? And you feel what you feel. So I want you to trust those feelings. All right, my dear.
Okay.
Thank you so
very
much.
I
You're
truly
welcome.
appreciate it.
How did you hear about the show?
Through Facebook.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And remember, even though you are feeling uncertain in your career, you are enough, you are worthy, and everything will work out just fine. Bye for now.
I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
888-565-1470. And we're going to go back to Connecticut. I know it's chilly there because we've talked to a few people from Connecticut tonight. I've got Ava on the line. Ava, how are you tonight?
Fine, thank you. Sarah, how are you? Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome, Ava. And how did you hear about the show?
Friends, and they love your show. So
thank you. Well, I appreciate that. And it's a whole big family, yes? That you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was wondering, Sarah, if you could pick anything up about like my soul. How long have I been here on this earth? As far as do you see me recycling back here or permanently gone after my life here?
That's a great question. So let's start there with that storyline that you've given us, because as you're talking, Spirit's like, oh, we got that answered. It's not your last rodeo. You're coming back again. This lifetime has been representative of relationships and understanding relationships and division in relationships and healing relationships and loving yourself and honoring yourself and overcoming conflict and adversarial moments in your life so that you could come back to center and learn to love yourself. And you've done a lot of work, Ava, in learning to love yourself over time. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And it's your time to really believe in yourself and make some changes, especially financially. And there are some shifts and changes that come for you this year in the 2022 time in the latter half. So if there's something you're looking to restructure or add on to your repertoire for work or money, this is something that will come to you at the end of the year.
Okay. I just would like to make a big impact while I'm in this world. So I didn't know if you could feel, if that would happen and if my life would be long, if you could pick up anything with that.
Well, we only have just another 60 seconds in this call before we end the show, but I will tell you this, that yes, you are here to make an impact with people because you're very empathic, you're very kind, and you're very sensitive to people. You're also psychic in your own way. And so you will make a difference in people because I feel like a lot of people who are down on their luck, have had difficulty in life, you're there, you're a great listening ear. And what you do from there is your choice. Life will be long for you. You have blessed life and you are holding your own in your health. So when I look at this, it will be a life well lived and much more to do in it. So set your intentions and ask the universe, how may I be of service? And allow them to inspire you so you could do more to make a difference. Thank you, Ava, for the call. We welcome you to the show. Greatly appreciated. God bless you and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're
you
welcome.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
We hope you join us next Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. You may reach us at 888-565-1470. Write the number down. This way you're sure to be in the queue. We've got lots of calls that come in, and we do want to hear from you. Join us on Facebook and YouTube. Find us under Sarah Spiritual and go to sarahspiritual.com. Learn more about what I do, the products, the sessions that you could have one-on-one just with me. And you and I can chat and have that impact from spirit. We have classes that will teach, so join our classes. First one, January 31st, Vision Quest 2022. Let's design the perfect year for you. Local in West Palm, visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I hope to meet you personally. For now, I bid you farewell. Good night. Stay well. Much great conversation tonight. I appreciate you. Good night. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
And there's a light that brightens up my day. There's a light leading the way. Oh, there's a light.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answers your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed